Thank you for joining us for another episode of A Letter To, where we discuss matters of the heart. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And today of the new year, we are going to be interviewing Cheryl Joyner Clark. Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm on the opposite side of the cat, so now I
You
see how
are.
y'all feel
Yes,
when I'm asking all the
exactly.
questions.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be nicer.
Please be nicer
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
audience.
yeah.
You got,
I'm be nicer to the
oh,
guests too.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. So, the good part about this is since we're going to be asking her the questions, the next time that she's asking the questions, maybe she'll be a little gentle.
I kind of think I'm gentle. No.
She be hitting hard. But that's okay though, because those hitting hard questions is what get people to open up.
It's
And
necessary. Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Don't,
So
but don't hit me hard.
I ain't
Kind of
gonna
like
hit you hard.
take it easy.
I'm definitely gonna take
Take
it
it
easy.
easy. You ever heard that country song?
No, I'm the country. I do
I
need.
don't you be doing the boots on the ground though. Yeah.
Is that country?
What? Girl, you see how
Hold on, say that again. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? What is it called?
vibrato.
Vibrato. She said,
Did not.
okay.
I can't.
So this is what we do.
I
It's
cannot.
going. It's not going to be. You know, this is going to be a very good episode.
We
I
hope.
promise you that.
We hope.
So please stay with us.
Yes.
It will be.
Okay.
All right. So before we begin, I do want to ask Cheryl a couple of questions.
Okay.
So how are you feeling today as you sit with these parts of the story that we're going to talk about today?
I feel not uncertain, but I don't know what you got on your question for. Number one, that's a little scary. But as far as like just sharing, I'm okay with that because, like you said, I'm healed for definitely healed for the first one, healing for the second two.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. So what made you feel ready or willing to share this chapter of your life now?
I just felt like it was time to give voice to some of the things that I've gone through. To just the Bible says we're overcome by the words of our testimony, and so maybe in sharing my story of just the many things that I've gone through, and see me continuing to persevere because it's a continual
Mm-hmm.
battle. It's even the Bible says earnestly contend.
Yes.
So that means it's a continual thing.
That's right.
That we contend for. So yeah, to just show that I am able to continue going on with life in spite of the different things I've gone through.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love that. I love that people share their story because back to what you said in Revelation, where it says that we're overcome by the word of our testimony. It's hard for us to heal. No, let me take that back. It's hard for other people to see that they're not the only one that have gone through what other people have gone through. So being able to share that testimony will give them hope as well.
Right.
All right. So that's the opening. Okay. Are we feeling safe?
Easy.
Are we feeling safe right now?
Oh yes.
All right.
Yeah. Enemies slow people. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So if you don't mind me asking, who was the first person that you lost in your life?
It was my husband, Ricardo.
Okay.
Lost him in 2011. It was a sudden loss, so it was very hard. Unexpected loss was, yeah.
Okay. Whew, I can't even imagine, being with the same man that I've been with for so long, losing him. So I can't even sit up here and say that I understand because to understand means that you have to go through it. And,
exactly.
And so I'm sorry that you have experienced that at a young age.
Yeah, I was very young. I remember sitting sitting at the funeral, sitting on that front row and just saying, "This is not supposed to be me. I'm not supposed to be sitting here like this. This is crazy." So yeah, it was a shocker, especially for somebody that I married in my early 30s. I got married in my early 30s, and I had waited for a husband for a long time. Everybody else was getting married in their 20s, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I would be an old maid. You know, you have this idea
Mhm. Mhm.
of when you want to be married. I want to be
Absolutely.
married in by the time I'm 25 to
Yep.
28. I want to be married and have my first baby when I'm 30. You have your whole life planned out. So
Mhm. Mhm.
everybody else is getting married, and I'm looking at like, what's wrong with me? I think I asked what's wrong with me a lot though. Not
Before you
just
got married.
yeah, and not just for um I'm pivoting a little bit, but just not for just not being married, but just like a lot of things. What's
Mhm.
wrong with me?
Mhm.
Like growing up, just the whole thing. So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, that was hard.
So one thing that you said before we move on is, they say that if you want to make God laugh, tell him about your plans. And so wanting to be married at an early age was like not in the plans
Yeah,
for him. Yeah, yeah.
it's like not in the plans. And then when I finally did get married or met the I won't say the love of my life because we look for another love. I'm just saying, uh, he was my first husband.
Yes.
You're
And
looking
at
for
that time,
number
he
two.
was the
He
love
was
of
the
your
love of
life.
my life. I prefer the other love, but just
So
saying.
here
But
we're
anyway,
gonna
let's keep
stay
moving.
here. All right.
Let's focus.
Let's
Let's focus.
focus.
Okay.
Bring it back.
All
Bring it
right.
back.
So here we go.
Okay.
Let's talk about that
So
third. Because sometimes people don't think um
that you want to be
that
married
you're
again.
healed,
That's
and they don't think that you're ready.
that's true.
And I just wanted to, that's why I said the healed version. I mean, not because I want somebody to know I'm looking for a husband or I want to
Right.
be found, but just to say, because sometimes even I had to stop like posting pictures for like anniversaries and different things because people are like, oh, I'm so sorry, or they'll still be saying I'm sorry, and it'd be like it was like years had passed by then, and I was like, I'm just posting this in honor of him. I'm not looking
Right.
for sympathy
Right.
at that time, and so I wasn't looking for sympathy. But I'll go back to how everything happened. So I met this great guy.
So that's what I was going to say. So
I'm
before
sorry.
we get to the loss, let's talk
Okay.
about how you met the love of your life.
He went. It
At
wasn't
the
bad. It
at
wasn't
that
no.
time.
When I'm saying at the time, it wasn't like oh we, because he was like in a relationship. He was my brother's really good friend. I didn't grow up with my siblings on my dad's side, so he was my biological father. I didn't grow up with his children, so I
Mm-hmm.
met them all when they were grown, when we were all adults. But so I didn't know his friends. So he was a really good friend of my brother, my baby brother, and we had a family gathering. He was there, and he was just extremely funny. We were checking each other like we knew each other already, and I was like, "This man, you know me." I was gonna say ninja, the other word, but we on this
We'll keep, we'll
podcast, and we
keep it
trying to keep it
PG.
PG. You know what I'm saying? Like PG-13. But he was just very funny. And so I was doing a play at the time, and I was looking. My baby brother was like, "Oh, my sister's in Nick Tyler Perry," and he's like, "For real, she do plays? I want to be in a
Y'all
play."
hear
And
that?
so I want to be in
Plug.
a play. And so I said, "Oh, good. I'm looking for somebody to play a crack addict." And he's like, "Oh no, not that. I'm a preacher. So I already have a pastor, so I'm not looking for a pastor. I already have that role casted." He's a little arrogant at the time, but but eventually, maybe some weeks later, he messaged me. Oh, he told my brother to get in contact with me because he wanted to be in the place. So we just became friends because
Friends.
I said he was
Mm-hmm.
already involved in a relationship, and so we were just friends. But later on down the road, he made his
Right.
feelings known or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And although I liked him, I really liked him as a friend anyway. So it was just like
Easy.
easy because we were friends.
Yep.
And I'll say probably the most memorial thing, one of the memories just in dating him was I remember we went to see, not to say I remember we went to hear my brother, not brother, to hear my father preach. We got back in the car after service. As soon as we got in the car, he called me. He's sitting in his car. I'm sitting in my car. And I was like, oh, he really do like me. Because, we just left the church. But anyway, to just have somebody that was like really intimate,
And yes.
that was because you spend so many bad relationships
Mm-hmm.
where you're doing all the giving and
Mm-hmm.
you love and
Mm-hmm.
you know, but you don't get that reciprocated. So
Yeah.
that's one of the memories. And then just being with him, he was just that type of guy.
So next question would be, what parts of yourself did you have to like rediscover or rebuild after losing him?
Rediscover. Well, reveal, rediscover. Let's see. I will say I was doing plays. I wrote a book while we were married. I didn't do any productions while we were married.
Mm.
It just learning how to be a wife. Like I said, I was in my early 30s. He died when I was closer to late 30s. So we were only married 4.5 years. Yeah, I'm not gonna even stay there because I felt cheated. But we're gonna keep going. Um,
But you learned something.
yeah. Did I?
Did you learn anything about yourself?
In the marriage, I learned a lot about me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he passed away, I had to. He was like the money person that wanted to handle everything. So I had to, take that on again.
Mm-hmm.
And I love
Mm-hmm.
that he was the head of that he
Mm-hmm.
knew how to manage all of that. So I had to do that again. But I think one of the things that I was most proud of is that I was able to go back to theater. Not saying that he held me up because he was like my biggest fan. Whenever we went to anywhere, any events, around friends, he would always brag and tell people, man, my wife is amazing. Y'all have no idea the gifts that she doesn't even tell y'all that she has. What she's able to do. So he was like my biggest fan. He did not
Come on, cheerleader.
keep me from, doing theater.
Mm-hmm.
He promoted me. I've been on several authors retreat. He definitely supported me, but I went back to theater a couple of years, probably about 2 years after he passed away. An idea for a play was birthed, and I started doing it, and it felt good to be back in theater.
Mm-hmm.
So that part of me, I reached back and got
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. I like that because sometimes, it's obvious that a part of us we also lose when
Yes,
we lose our loved one.
yes,
So
yes,
being able to rediscover and create a new norm is like, okay, what is my passion? What is it that I enjoy
yeah,
doing? What do I love doing that comes so natural to me? And for you, it was theater.
yeah,
And so going back to that and having to rebuild that after, losing Ricardo is like, okay, I got this.
yeah.
That's something that um, probably taken you a little further or made, your grief steps not as long, maybe, um, because you jump like not jumped right into it, but you actually had something to pour out,
Right,
right?
right,
Um, I mean, whether it was a letter to or your plays or writing a book or something like that,
right.
you were still pouring out.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some people don't have that, they probably never even um, discovered the inside of them, and so they hold on to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that grief becomes a buildup.
I remember though. I just want to say this part. I remember because he died suddenly. There was a lot of anger. There was I felt betrayed by God
Mm,
because I waited a long time to be married, and I was when I say wait, I mean like I was like faithfully consistent in abstinence. I was really serious about
mm-hmm,
my walk with God. So I kind of like felt betrayed, but I also knew it's like something in me said this is not going to be good if you don't get ahead of it. It's like I knew the way I grieved was important,
mm,
and I said to myself, this is not going to be good for me. I got to do something because I didn't want to go down a dark hole.
mm-hmm,
And that's all I kept saying. I can't go down a dark hole. Something in me knew that I couldn't do it. So anyway, eventually, one of my really close friends at the time told me about her son had went through grief counseling, and she told me about a grief counseling center. And it was there that I was able to express feelings that I couldn't tell anybody else. like, you know, we church people,
Right.
so church people gonna always give you
Yeah.
the same old
Solution.
thing. God was, oh, he plucked the flower,
Yeah.
or God don't make no mistakes.
Hmm.
Well, at the time, I felt like God
That's
didn't make
right.
mistakes.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to hear none of the cliches.
Hmm.
And so I wanted to talk to somebody that I didn't want to hear nobody say, oh, you strong, you know, God gonna need it, which I know I needed his strength. But at the time I wanted to deal with what really
That's right.
hurt the
Yeah.
most. I didn't want to hear none of that.
That's right.
So I didn't want to do a Christian counselor. I didn't want to talk to my dad, who was a pastor. I didn't want to talk to anybody sanctified. I'm just being honest.
Hmm.
I wanted to talk to somebody that didn't know me and that would let me pour out myself without judgment.
Judgment. Yeah.
Man,
Hmm.
that's important,
Hmm.
because just because I'm a Christian or just because I'm saved does not mean I can't feel
That's
the way
right.
that I feel.
Absolutely.
And then I need to be able to give voice to how I
Yes.
feel without you telling me. Now you know,
You know you
Mary
shouldn't be
was in the
questioning
house
God.
crying.
Come on.
Mary was grieving
Come
her
on.
brother.
Yes, she was.
And so there were times I even said, Lord, I don't think nobody understands. This was like after he was buried and everything. Because, like, starting over or starting life without him, going in the house, he's not there. You know, everything is there that showed me he lived there one time. His shoes are still there, his clothes are still there, the bed we lit, you know, everything was still there. So all of that was like restructuring, rechanneling, getting out of the house. I couldn't stay there. So I said all that to say, um, I knew I needed to deal with grief,
Hmm.
because, like I said, he was taken, snatched away young, snatched away suddenly. I didn't get to say goodbye. You know, none of that. You know, I was with him when everything started happening, and he started going into cardiac arrest. But you know, so I talked to him, but like knowing he was gonna be gone when
Right.
they told me, when I went in that room and they said, this, you know, he's no longer. I'm sorry, he's gone. I didn't know I was gonna get to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, just starting all over, or starting or moving from that point of grief to get to the play, that was a hard process. So I don't want to make it
Okay.
seem like that was easy,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it wasn't.
Okay.
It took some
Thank you for
time.
clearing that up too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it took some time.
Because back to what you said a little earlier, uh, healing is a journey.
Yes.
I'll say that is a journey.
Yes.
And for some, it's without a finish line.
Yes.
You know.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that you end up bringing that back up.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask you a question. It can be close ended, but I want to ask for the sake of the new audience, or the followers, for people who don't know this. Did you and Ricardo have any kids?
No, we did not have any children. Ricardo, and it wasn't like I couldn't have children, because we definitely wanted to make sure, you know, I could be. It wasn't me. We knew it was him. Let me make sure I say that, because he had 3 children already. So after his third child, he was like, he was done.
Right.
He was so young when he was done. I'm like, sir, you
Right.
didn't think he was gonna
Yeah.
ever
Right.
marry
Exactly.
again?
Yeah.
So anyway, he was willing to get the reversal. So okay, so this is what happened though. He tricked me. So he waited until like I was like in love with him,
Hmm.
and before we got married, before he hadn't even popped the question, but I was in love.
Right.
Like, I just want you to know, I had the vasectomy. What? I'm in
Spell
love.
it, because I'm in love at this point, and I want some children.
Oh my God! So I'm like, are you for real? Yeah, but he's like, he was willing to reverse. I said, well, it's fine. Your children will be my children,
Right.
whatever. But yeah, he tricked me. I will forever say that. I'm not gonna be looking for him when I get to heaven saying, Lord, let me ask him about that, because I knew I was tricked.
I mean,
By that
we,
time, I was in
so
that
we,
in
so
that in
no
that.
discussion needs to
So,
be had. But
but
I
they,
will bring
excuse
it
me.
up though.
So they were going to. We went to go get the reversal, or just discuss that. First, we went to make sure that I still was fertile and
Hmm.
was producing eggs, and they weren't hard boiled. I was definitely producing eggs,
Okay, okay. Not
and
scrambled or nothing.
they weren't
You
scrambled
was
or nothing.
ready.
Girl, I was like 35, 36. I still had 2 eggs up in there, but. So anyway, so she made me act crazy. There were still some eggs in there. But anyway, they talked about, what would happen if he got a vasectomy. but he had health issues, and I just
Mm.
wasn't really to put him at
At
risk.
risk, right?
So that's when I said, okay, just forget it. I love your kids,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, we didn't have any. And I wanted you. I wanted a son so bad. As a
Oh,
matter of fact, I was hoping the Lord would work a miracle and let me be pregnant after he died.
right.
But
Yeah. I mean,
no
he
miracle.
he definitely worked it out for other folks. No,
Yeah, it's
Mary
like
got here without Joseph.
yeah, it's not. It
No,
wasn't. Wasn't
no.
it? But
Oh, oh, oh. I mean,
Jesus
huh?
Christ. Anyway,
You
oh
know,
yeah, so I didn't get to have children. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I was able to help my sister with hers. So
good, good.
I wanted a son
And
though.
we'll talk about your sister in a little bit.
I wanted a son for the record.
You can have
Had him.
mine.
Oh, babe, I'm good now.
Oh,
I got a
okay.
godson.
I
I'm
mean, well,
straight.
okay. Well, then, hey, there you go. Here
I
we
think
are.
the Lord spared me because I don't do pain well. My pain tolerance is like zero.
So, how did you think you would? That's another
That's what I'm
episode.
saying. It was
This
zero.
that
So
right
the
there.
Lord knew that. He was like, let me spare my child. She can't do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. Thank you. Because I don't know how you thought you was going to get through that, honey. Anyway, I'm going to
And
ask you the last question about the loss of your husband.
okay.
What do people often misunderstand about widowhood or the spouse loss?
Hmm. What do they misunderstand?
Mm-hmm. So, for some people, they think that you would never love again,
Okay.
or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you now.
It's like there's a
Now,
cliche out there
yeah.
that yeah.
Now I will say it's different for different people.
Mm-hmm.
So we were only married. I felt again cheated because we were only married 4.5 years, or for a total combined 5 months, 5 years, because 6 months dating, then we got married.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt cheated. So what am I going? I'm finna go. I'm finna find it. It's gone. Okay, but anyway, so I kind of sort of felt betrayed. So we only got 5 years. But for people that have been married, you and your husband been married how long? 25, 25 years.
No, and so actually married. We just celebrated our 8th anniversary
But
Saturday.
y'all were together 25
We've been
years.
together for 27.
27 years. So for people like that's been married or together that long, or people that have been married 20, 30, 40, 40 years, that's a hard, there's a big difference. Let me lead with that. There's a huge difference. I only got 5 years with this man. Somebody with 25, 30 years can say, I will never. Because honestly, when he died, I said, I will never. This
Mm,
is the worst type of pain. I don't wish this,
mm.
I wouldn't wish that type of loss on my worst enemy,
Enemy, yeah.
because it was literally the tearing asunder of souls.
Mm.
Because the Bible says the two shall become
Become
one.
one. That's right.
And I felt like my soul had been ripped.
Mm,
So at that time, I said, I will never love again. I will never open my heart up to this type of pain.
mm.
I will never, I wanted to die. So I said, I will never, it's the worst separation. So I understand why people who've been married 30, 40 years don't live long after the other person has
Yeah.
died. Because I'm serious, I've never felt that. It's a different type of pain for each loss.
Jeez.
But for the loss of my spouse, it was gut wrenching. It was just that bad. So I would say a misconception for people, or misunderstanding, is that people don't want to love again. I know people that were married years. Most men that I know that were married for years and their wife died, they get married again.
Yeah.
And they do that for
Mhm.
companionship.
That's right.
Because they're used to
And I can
having
see that
a
too.
companion with
Right.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, 5 years after, I said I'd never love again. I kept wearing my wedding ring on my finger, and then after like 3 years, my daddy's like, you gonna take that ring off?" No, like 2 years. Like, you gonna take the ring off? I was like, no. This is what my husband gave me. So like, I think probably maybe the fourth or fifth year, I felt led to take it off, but I moved it to the other hand, and I still wore ring. His ring, I made it into a charm, and so I would wear it. And whenever I lost it, I would like go into a freak panic in the house.
I can.
And
Yeah.
everybody in the house would go into a panic with me. They would start looking. My mom, if my sister was over or her kids were over, they would be helping me look. Because I would like,
Yes.
tears would be rolling, because I felt like if I lost the ring, I lost
Then
him
you lost it. Oh, again.
again. So that part was ugly.
Woo.
So I would be searching that house for, and then my sister was, or boy said, and Ricardo had bought me a ring case, so I don't even know how I would be losing it because I would have episodes with him. But anyway, long story short, I would be looking for the jewelry, but after those years passed, after years and years passed, probably I'll say maybe about the fifth or sixth year, I was like, okay, I can do this again.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, no.
Yeah.
So a misunderstanding I would say is that a widow will never love again. If she wants to open her heart, she can. If he
Mm.
wants to open his heart, he can. But it's
Mm.
up to that individual if they want to open up to that again.
And I, which is true, right? Like the choice is definitely going to be yours
Yes.
because I know, like Damon and I talk about it. Now, the one thing that I do say is the next person that come along, he got a lot to put up with. I mean, a lot to put up with because after you with somebody for so long, you begin to compare, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely have to be vulnerable all over again.
Right.
But if the choice is yours and you willing to open up your heart, then I
Yeah.
think that that's what it would be.
Yeah.
You had mentioned, um, being frantic when you lost a piece of jewelry and thinking that loss, you feel like being, that you was losing him all over again. With that level of anxiety and anxiousness, like, did you feel like that you have to start grief all over again? Like, did you feel like I thought that I was doing better and now here I am again back to this, stage?
That's when I learned that grief comes in cycles. At first, I was like, I thought I was healed from that, but that's when I realized that it came in cycles, and then eventually I got to a point. I remember we were on a trip. I think we went. It was a church trip, and on my way back, I realized I lost the necklace that had the ring on it, and I left it at the hotel. But when I called back, nobody. But the difference this time, I wasn't frantic. I didn't cry. I, And so for me, even though I called back and I was like, I know I left it there, this, that, and the third. But for me, it was like God was saying, it's time to
It's
let it
time to
go.
let it go.
And
Mm,
so I knew then, but I knew it was time. And I knew it was time because I didn't panic.
mm,
I didn't get anxious. I didn't
right.
cry. I didn't like get frantic. Let's go back. None of that. And I was like, okay, God. It's like there was a peace came on me.
Mm,
So during those times when I would get frantic, I realized at that time the wave of grief that
mm.
it does come in cycles, and whenever that time came, I needed to process it. I needed to deal with it. I needed to go ahead and have my moment and be done.
Okay. So the peace and having your moment with your husband, I think it's a good segue to talk about then after that, your next loss. And who was that?
My dad,
It was your dad.
not the man that he wasn't my biological father, but he was the closest thing to it because of my biological father. Again, wasn't in my life growing up.
Right.
So yeah, I still call him dad. I call him Didi.
So is this the one that was the preacher?
Yes, pastor.
Okay. Or the pastor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now I'm getting ready to go here with it.
Okay.
What is one lesson or value your father instilled in you that still show up in your life today?
He always told me who I was in God. He always reminded me of the gift that I am, that I'm gifted, that I can do all things through Christ. He just always encouraged me to be everything God gave me and do everything God told me to do. And it does not matter that I didn't go to college for theater. He always told me, you have a God given talent. Don't let nobody tell you any different. You're special. He just always I can't think of the word that I want to say, but he always gave me admiration. He always, gave me words of encouragement, reminding me, and they still stick with me. Do I want to hear him say them sometimes? For sure.
I can imagine.
Sometimes I need it
Yeah.
because Yeah, because sometimes you battle.
Yeah, yeah,
You battle.
yeah.
I did not.
And with him, the one that was planting those seeds and watering those
Yes,
seeds, it's
yes,
kind of like, Daddy, I need a little
yeah. I need that
nurturing from you
reminder,
right now.
please. I need
Yeah.
that reminder. So yeah, it was nice.
So, how did losing your father change the way you understood protection, guidance, or identity? And I think that's
I remember sitting on the side of the bed. They took me inside the room where Ricardo was, and I was there, but my head was down, and I was just crying, saying, "You left me." And suddenly, my dad came in the room and swooped me into his arms
mm,
and said, "Daddy got you."
mm,
He always had me,
mm,
like big grown me.